Heyo, we're live.
Hello.
Hi.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Yes.
All right, let's
Whose
jump
fault
into
is
it.
that?
Oh, it's it's not important. Are we ready?
Yeah.
On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
Charles Entertainment Cheese has joined reality TV.
I've been waiting until dawn for this update.
And maybe there can be more than one Highlander.
it's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 638 for January the 17th, 2024. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of the Culture Smash Cast. Nico,
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
Tina,
Tina Qualls, contributor to Culture Smash Cast.
and this dumbass right here.
Biscuits the cat.
He does
Also-
more for us than you do.
Yeah. Zach.
Here's
I'm
my
also Zach.
butthole.
Look at that ass. If you're watching the video, there's nothing but cat ass on the screen.
He's demanding right now. He is very much wanting the snuggles.
Because it's cold.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I let him in the warm room here along with Mochi, so he's been asleep all day.
Perfect.
All day he's been asleep. So hey, it's time to wake up, get some snuggles, and then go back to sleep around 8 o'clock.
All right, let me do the business side and then we'll catch up with what we're up to. Join us every Wednesday night live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook starting at or around 6:15 CST. Follow us on your platform of choice and join the conversation live. Special thanks to Skinny Mixes for supporting the Culture Smash Cast. Skinny Mixes are coffee and dessert syrups that are 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 to 2 carbs. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and try some of their delicious syrups, such as the white chocolate, salted dark chocolate, and salted caramel, and the variety of cocktail mixes they offer, including the margarita and different fruit-flavored infusions. Use promo code CultureSmash for 15% discount on your order. As always, if you spend $50, you'll get free shipping too. That's the bam. All right, Nico, Tina, what have you guys been up to?
Well, I went to go see a movie this past week. I saw The Iron Claw finally.
Oh, cool. We can discuss in a minute.
Yeah, I wish I got to it before we did our top 10 because it may have been a contender. That's funny. But I
Not the contender.
Yeah, I don't have a huge affinity for wrestling, so but I know it's hard to escape some pop culture knowledge through osmosis. But I did not know the tragic story about what happens to this family of brothers. And then, of course, after you see a movie based on true events, you go on a Wikipedia dive afterwards and learn, oh, it's worse.
Yeah.
Like real life is worse. So that's bad. They leave out a brother. And bad things happen to that one too.
Yeah,
Reality
it's so
is
insulting.
often-
They completely just leave a brother out. They're like,
Reality is often disappointing.
It is. I understand it. Like it's terrible to omit part of that kind of reality. But in terms of making a narrative fit a certain amount of time, I get why they did it.
I mean, it's dishonest storytelling, though, in a way. And it's disrespectful to the one that they left out. I'm like, damn. I actually deducted points from it because of that. Because
I think that's a completely reasonable thing. If you go in without the outside world knowledge of that and just base it on the film, I think it holds pretty good. But I do not fault anyone for deducting points for thinking less of the film for that. I think it's completely fair to do that. But
yeah,
everybody in it does a good job. Like Efron's transformation into a muscular, sculpted wrestler was impressive.
I think this is absolutely Zac Efron's best acting effort of his career.
Yes.
Because to me, I don't understand the love for him. I find him to be utterly forgettable up to this point.
I mean, name, I don't know, any film where he was better than person?
Firestarter, man. He made that movie. A complete
All right.
disaster. A complete disaster.
I was about to say Chris R. in the Disaster Room?
Yeah.
Or Disaster Artist?
Neighbors, the one with Seth Rogen, or isn't he the son in Bad Grandpa?
You know,
I haven't watched it.
I was having a good day until you mentioned that film. How dog shit it was.
I haven't watched it. But yeah, we'll talk about it for a minute because it is number 10 in the box office. I watched it and I was kind of mad because there's an aspect of the movie that is kind of known, but isn't really known till you see the movie. And it's just funny because I was doing a stream with somebody the other day, well, actually just a couple of days before I was going to see it, and they are hardcore into wrestling, and they just assume that this detail is something that's known to everybody, and he just said it in the stream. And of course, after I saw the movie, he's like, "Well, did that hit you? Did you get impact?" I'm like, "Nah, because I fucking knew it was coming. I was just waiting for it because I knew because you spoiled it, you bastard."
Is it that wrestling is fake? Was that the thing you didn't know going
Yeah,
into
that's it. That's it.
See, I know what you're talking about because I looked why it's rated R and it said it in the descriptor. I'm like, oh.
I had only seen the only thing I knew about it was the trailer, and it doesn't really show a lot of that in the trailer.
I don't know
like
what
the movie.
specific show that you're talking about, but you can tell me after show.
Yeah, because I don't know. I do still think The Wrestler isn't for me a better movie. I still like The Wrestler better.
Sure.
And I thought about it a lot, and this would not. I kind of wish I had seen it before, also, but in retrospect, it wouldn't have impacted my top 10. I mean, it would have been like in the top 15 for the year for sure because it's really good.
If it hit mine, it would have been like at 10 or something.
Yeah. And I also think that's part of it. It's a really well done drama, but on top of that, if you're into wrestling, it has, I think, a little bit of an impact.
It did give me on a wrestling kick though, because my book that I checked out next from the library is Ringmaster, which is a story telling the story of Vince McMahon and the WWF/WWE. I forget the author's name. I'll look it up real quick. But this author also did an excellent book about Stan Lee, which is why I was Abraham Reisman. So it's a pretty damning story. So was the Stan Lee one. So if you're in for that kind of drama, check it out.
Have I told you guys that I work with the Undertaker's son?
No, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I know who the Undertaker is. I've seen Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
That's my connection to wrestling.
That's funny.
I used to watch it when I was a kid.
That's more than I did.
Back when it was WWF, and then it was like a soap opera.
Yeah,
I was watching it. Like,
it
I
is.
remember Triple H taking a drugged up, drunk Stephanie McMahon to a wedding chapel in Vegas. Like that's my era of wrestling.
I mean, that's what wrestling
It's a soap opera for dudes. Well, now it's for everybody, but yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Like trying to figure out who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. Who shot JR?
Exactly. So literally, the Middle Tennessee has been shut down for the week because of snow.
Yeah.
I mean, normally a few flakes will shut Nashville down, but when you've got 6 and sometimes 8 or 9 inches of snow, yeah,
it's about 7.5 here. So.
I mean, when we measured, there were 6 inches, and it stopped. So I went out and cleared the driveway and cleared the car and everything, and it started again, and it looked like I didn't do shit.
Yeah, it was surprising about how much it just kind of backfilled on Monday when it all came down here. Yeah. Because I did the same thing. Like I went out and did some clearing and walked around the yard, taking out the dog in the morning, and then like later at lunch there was no sign that I was ever outside. It was just ridiculous.
I did a snow angel at like 7 a.m, and when I went to take the pup out at around noon, you could not see where I did it. And I mean, I did it to where you could see grass underneath and dirt. You could not tell where I'd done a snow angel.
It's crazy. It's crazy. We don't have that here, so.
We got out today though. Her daycare was open 9 to 4, so we dropped her off, and
we already had today off because it's our wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
And so we just went.
Happy anniversary!
Thank you.
Yeah. So the only thing I've done was I went to a game night with some of our mutual friends Saturday, and I kind of wish you guys were there. It was pretty hilarious. We played that game we played at the Christmas party. Remember? It's kind of
Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah.
Blood on the Clock Tower. Yeah, it's kind of like Werewolf on steroids. Like,
Yeah.
Are You a
Yeah.
Werewolf? And our friend Andre was there, and he's like Nathan, who's should be here with us tonight. Damn it, that bastard. He's super competitive with me. Super competitive with me, and I ended up being the devil in the game. And toward the end of the game, he got scared because he didn't know who the devil was, and he stood up and he said, "I just know we're about to lose, and whoever is the devil is going to stand up and do like a demented evil laugh and make me feel like shit." They made a mistake and lost the game, and I got up and did it in his face, and it was the best part of my week. It reminded me of when I fucked with Zach in the other game in the
That was some
Mainstay
bullshit.
restaurant.
That was some bullshit.
It
Yeah,
was
but
so delicious.
did you throw? Well, it wasn't really a throw. I was gonna win either way. Did you throw a certain win just to kill the soldier?
Your husband? Is that it?
No, that's how Tina plays. Tina has her own meta game when we play games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. But yeah, that's all I've done. I went to game night on Saturday night, and I've been cooped up here. And there's movies playing Friday at our art house theater, and I really want to go, but we're gonna get freezing rain Friday, so we're gonna have to wait and see how it goes.
No, we're
So.
gonna get freezing rain Thursday.
Perfect. So yeah, that's what's happening right now in this world. Do you have anything to report, Zach?
I finally had a weekend off for the first time in like 5 weeks. Which
Well,
is fine.
that's because your girlfriend keeps filling your weekend. Your
Well,
weekends.
you go Christmas, New Year's, film the weekend again, and then you're just like, you know what? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do nothing, and I'm going to enjoy it because I get to do nothing, and I get to not have to entertain and go somewhere and put on a mask.
I get that.
Yep.
I get that.
But
Right
it was just-
after
I was just
Christmas
like,
and New Year's, I always have to have that break.
yeah, it was like I just fucking need one weekend. It's like if you were like, okay, game night this weekend, I'd be like, all right. But I was just like, man.
And little did you know, you would have had basically a week of doing nothing anyway.
Yeah, except now I'm here. I've been watching AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, on Twitch. It's a week-long live stream, hi biscuits, of speedruns. But
Oh yeah, I remember that. I've watched some of that before.
you
Yep.
know, that's about
I started
all.
Sunday night. It felt weird. It felt so retro, and I think I'm probably the only one who did it. But I watched episode 1 of True Detective on HBO. It felt like old water cooler days because HBO doesn't screw around. They only give you one episode. That's how it is. And people are losing their mind over it. And I watched it, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good.
See, that's how I feel about True Detective. I've only seen season 1, but every time
season 1 was fantastic. Season 1 was
every time
great.
I try to watch season 1, I'm like, I mean, it's good.
No, season 1 was great. I'm gonna disagree on that. The season 2 and season 3 were not good, but season 1 is really good.
Well,
and this one's okay. It has Jodie Foster in it, and I really like her. So,
I watched the first episode of the Yu Yu Hakusho live action on Netflix. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. I haven't watched the second episode, but that's just because it's hard to watch subtitles when you have to also watch out for this one trying to kill herself.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a struggle that I have right now, and it's annoying. Is I started watching Echo because I was just curious because it's on Hulu and on Disney Plus. And the character doesn't speak, so she uses sign language. So there's a shit ton of subs in that show. And for someone with a vision impairment, they really didn't think about accessibility because the subtitles look like shit. And it just was a struggle, and I dipped out. And it's a shame because it looks like it might actually be pretty good. I just couldn't stay with it because it was too much. It was excessive, and it just wasn't well done. The subs.
Yeah, I want to give it a try. Had I had more time today, I probably would have tried it one episode. I'm looking forward to watching it.
I mean, I was mostly curious because it, brings back some of the Vincent D'Onofrio is back, and what I saw of him in it was pretty good. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Do you
They
think it
had been
deserves that TVMA rating?
Uh,
Because from everyone I've seen who has seen it, they're like, "Why does this have TVMA?"
what I've heard is the actual MA rating comes more in the later episodes. So I've only watched, like I said, I had dipped out. I only got through the first couple, so I don't know. In the first couple, no, but it is more refreshingly a little bit more mature than the other shows. So I will say that it is more mature. And I don't mean necessarily mature as far as the violence and stuff. I mean mature as far as like it doesn't feel childish like a lot of the ones on Disney Plus feel.
yeah.
So at least there's that. Um, so I don't know. Maybe somebody else, one of you guys will watch it and tell me if it's worth the fight because
Hey,
it really
Steven,
was a struggle. Yes.
have you seen Blue Eyes Samurai?
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it yet.
You suck.
I know. All right. So on another subject, here's the box office. Number 10 was the Iron Claw. It's at $29 million.
It made $2.4 million this weekend.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to give you the totals because I accidentally cut that part out.
Oh,
The Book of Clarence. Okay, it's $3 million. I could talk about the Book of Clarence briefly.
but it made
So
2.5 million.
okay, good. So Zach said he hadn't even seen a trailer for this. Have you guys seen the trailer for the Book of Clarence?
I've seen multiple trailers for it.
See, I thought so too. So the movie is about a guy. It's set into Jesus times, and it's about a guy who's like basically just like a rogue, kind of like a criminal, and he sees how Jesus is getting all this attention, so he realizes he wants to be part of it, and starts to do shenanigans to get his own following, his own like disciples and stuff. And the first half hour of this movie, I was with it because it was pretty blasphemous, which was cool. I'm down for like pushing buttons. And it had this really kick ass sort of blaxploitation, funky kind of soundtrack that was great. But the middle of it gets really draggy, and the social commentary, it stops being clever and it just goes on the nose. And because it was more clever in the first 30 minutes or so. And then the last act of the movie just wusses out and panders, and I fucking hated it. It just like it made me so mad because it was so cool at the beginning of the movie. It started out so good. So yeah, that's my take on the Book of Clarence. I was disappointed. Um, Boys in the Boat is at $40 million right now. It's George Clooney directed based on a true story. It doesn't look like something. Night Swim is at $20 million.
Everyone wait, you've seen this?
I saw it. Yeah.
So
I've seen 7 movies in January so far already.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to dog shit, how is this?
2. And it's only 2 because it has a couple of effective moments in it. But overall, like straight up, beat for beat, it's Amityville Horror in a swimming pool. Beat
That's the dumbest
fucking beat. Like everything that is the original Amityville Horror is this movie, except it's in a swimming pool.
I just had an idea for a great movie. I want to take the Amityville house and relocate it onto a houseboat. And that
well, so the Amityville is free to use. That's why there are 37 movies in that franchise.
Yeah.
So you could just do it.
Amityville Horror 38, the houseboat.
You could just do it. Yeah. Like there's one out called Amityville Karen that I don't know. It's about a Karen, like a woman who gets. Yeah. It's set in Amityville somehow. I don't know how that works.
But does it feature a scene where a brother and sister get together to completion?
I don't know. I doubt it.
If it's not in the film, I mean, what are we even doing here if you can't even top the second film in the series? I mean,
it's a reasonable point. I'm not gonna lie.
Because, I mean, the second film went off in batshit directions like that. It also had the balls to kill off the kids and the family,
which no one would do now.
Yeah. Like, I couldn't believe that happened when I saw it. I was like, holy shit, it's not a dream. They actually killed everyone. Like 5 points to the film just for that.
Exactly. I agree. All right, so Night Swim made 20 million bucks so far. Aquaman is at number 6. It has made 109 million dollars, and it is not a good movie. Number
Man,
5,
we're just in fuck you. It's January, aren't
we
we?
really are. Number 5 is anyone but you. It looks like I haven't seen this one obviously, but it looks like a really shitty rom com. It's at 56.7 million. Number 4 is Migration. It's at 88.1 million, and it's. I was telling Zach in a pre-show. It's not that it's bad, but it's also not good. It's just kind of forgettable.
It's like an unsalted cracker.
Yeah, I mean it's fine, but it's so dry. It's so dry.
There's no flavor to it.
There's no flavor.
It'll keep you alive, but
Exactly. Number 3 is Wonka. It made 178.8 million. Haven't seen that one yet. Number
you
2
don't want to see the
is
musical?
I don't. I might have to though. Number 2 is The Beekeeper. It is at 18.7 million. Now, I don't understand the love for this movie. It was in the 70-ish% on Rotten Tomatoes last time I looked. I saw it.
What?
Yeah, I saw it. And here's the thing. It's not if you like sort of a late 80s, early 90s sort of basic ass action movie story, it can be kind of fun. And I like that. I love the Cannon Group movies. But the thing about those is they give you really great action. And Jason Statham is a pretty badass fighter, but all the fight scenes look like they were cut by the Marvel editor. They're pushed in tight, they're tight cuts. You don't really. Oops.
Yo, wait, The Beekeeper is directed by David Ayer?
It is, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, so the
Because they
action.
can say like from the director of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they say that in the trailer. Yeah. It disappointed me because if it was this same basic ass script, but the action was really good, I would have been like, all right, fine. I'm here for it. But I didn't think the action was that good. So for me, it was kind of It was better than the movie last year, that Operation Fortune bullshit. I saw that too. It was better than that. So take that for what you will. Number 1 is Mean Girls. It's at 33.6 million right now. And I'm hearing a lot of people say that this movie's kind of bombing because of the marketing. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's true.
Is it because like the marketing isn't showing that it's a musical?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are people feeling betrayed when they show up, or are they going like, "Oh, I would have gone if I known it was a musical"?
Well, to me, if you don't know, okay, so let's just say you see a trailer, it's Mean Girls. Why are they remaking Mean Girls? Mean Girls is already great. Why are they remaking it? Why should I go?
I really do not like the bit in the trailer where it goes, "Not your mother's Mean Girls," because that painfully hurts.
It does.
They need to fully go into this is a musical. This is based on the Broadway play. We're not remaking that film. We're doing this our own version.
I agree.
It's like how they did with Matilda. Like when they were advertising for the new Matilda movie, they blatantly said, based off the hit Broadway production.
Mm-hmm.
They showed all these musical numbers that people were like, fuck yeah, let's go see Matilda the musical.
Well, that was also like a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
right?
but still.
So I mean,
well, okay, so they did that with The Color Purple also.
Yeah.
Well, they hid the musical aspect to it, and I didn't even know Wonka was a musical. I thought it might have had a moment or two of music, but apparently that's a musical too. Wouldn't know from any of the trailers.
Finally, on the back half of the Wonka marketing, they've started to they let him, showing some footage of him singing the iconic song or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, early on, the marketing was trying to hide it too. Now, to me, what's the point of doing a musical if you're going to hide it? And I know a lot of people don't like musicals, including me. Then don't make a musical if you don't want to. Like,
it's like Zach said. What's the point of this movie if Mean Girls, the original Mean Girls, is still fairly recent culturally, even though it's 20 years old at this point? But still, it's like that.
I mean, people still
Remake it early 2000s
Yeah.
movie is still a little bit too recent.
Yeah.
People still say "boo, you whore." People still say "get in, loser."
Yeah,
We're going shopping.
Yeah, it's like stop
We
making
still-
stop trying to make fetch.
We still wear pink on Wednesday. Like that's still culturally
Yeah.
significant.
So it's like if you're going to remake it, you need to be saying something or doing something different that the original one didn't. And the trailers don't really show that. Had they really gone all out, hey, this is a musical. That's different. That is a hook to get people to go, I like Mean Girls. I would like to see a new spin on it, not just new actors doing the same thing.
What are they going to make a musical number out of? Like, what parts are going to be musically adapted?
Yeah.
Like, that would get me to go see it, but they hardly marketed it as a musical at all. I think there was one trailer I saw where you get like the opening to the introduction song for Regina George, and that was it.
I saw one audience reaction video online where somebody was filming when the first song starts, and like just filming for the audience reaction for when they like all basically go, what?
Yeah.
Because no one in the audience realized it was a musical.
So Caveman Movies and Music says in the chat, talking about the Joker 2 being a musical, the difference is they are promoting the shit out of the fact that one's going to be a musical. That hasn't been.
That's been like, that was the first thing that was announced is Joker 2, by the way, we're doing this. I mean, if that's not in any of the marketing, well, then that's an abject failure. I mean, essentially what they're doing is a bait and switch. And nobody fucking wants a bait and switch. If you want a musical, you should know what you're getting. You know, if you didn't know Mean Girls or Wonka or The Color Purple was a musical, I'm sorry, that's false fucking advertising, and you should feel bad. You know, like you should, I don't know, get
well,
pissed.
and you shouldn't be surprised if people are going to rip into you in the reviews, in the audience reviews, because they didn't know they were going in for a musical.
And I don't get why they're trying to hide the fact that it's a musical, because especially this time of year, musicals tend to do pretty well. I mean, hell, Greatest Showman did really well in the box office.
Yeah, but I think The Greatest Showman is the last one. La La Land and then Greatest Showman were the last ones to really do well. Like, I don't think the West Side Story remake did well at all.
Well, that was during COVID.
Okay, well, hold on. We got to give West Side Story the COVID handicap because, so I think that's a little rough to do.
Yeah, throw in the Heights as well.
In the Heights didn't do well.
Yeah. Well, that was during COVID too. It went straight to HBO Max.
I also heard it sucked, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. But I mean, and it might. But there's that weird period of 2 years. You got to give movies a handicap.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Dear Evan Hansen came out, but the majority of the comments of that film were, "This movie sucks," not it's a musical.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear, oh man, I was going to go, but I heard it's a musical and I'm not going to go. Except out of Steven. I don't hear that out of anyone else.
I say it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Steven's the hater.
Yeah. I am the hater. I do have respect for the fact that the Joker 2...
The butthole version got decent traction in theaters.
What's that? Which one?
The butthole version got decent traction.
Yeah, Zach's dumbass went to see that.
There wasn't enough alcohol in the damn building.
I mean, as much as I have no...
That's what killed musicals. It was cats.
With buttholes.
Yeah. I mean, but again, well, fuck me. I hate the music of Cats, so maybe it is, but I fucking hated every aspect of that film. Every single aspect of it.
Well, the one thing I was just trying to say is, as much as I don't like musicals, I do at least respect the fact that Joker 2 is doing something different, because Joker 1 was plagiarism. Just saying. So at least they're doing something different with the sequel. And maybe it'll be good. I don't know. We'll see. But they're not hiding it, so you're going to know. This weekend, there's some things. ISS is opening. I kind of want to see this movie. It's at 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm interested.
Yeah, it definitely has that underwater feel.
I'm up for some good Cold War-esque antics.
I actually think, as far as our film ball goes, mistakes were kind of made, because I feel like maybe this movie and Civil War are going to get a little bit of a boost based off like current times. People are just gonna go watch them vicariously, kind of like how you couldn't get a copy of Contagion on Blu-ray during COVID. I mean,
That was different
I
though.
think
That
within
was
the first 2
holy
months of
shit.
COVID, I watched Contagion just to
Yeah.
We did. Yeah, we totally watched it. And I think half the country probably watched Contagion.
yeah. I mean, the Blu-ray went out of print and shot up in value for a little bit because of that. So I
Yeah,
feel
but-
like these type of movies are going to get a little boost.
Contagion got recontextualized. It was just this little thriller that came out in 2011 and then became a documentary
Full-on horror
horror
movie.
film.
Exactly.
It was like, holy shit, it was real. We didn't
Yeah.
listen.
Well, that's the scary thing about Contagion is how much they got right. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it was-
speaking of horror, also Founders Day is coming out, and it's at 70%. I'm shocked. I figured this movie was going to get ripped to shreds.
I feel like this is another Thanksgiving to where it's
Yeah.
like it's shit, but it's enjoyable shit.
All right. Well, I'm going to see both of them, and I'll honestly see Origin also. It's at 80% Rotten Tomatoes right now. That's the wide releases. So these probably tell me that Mean Girls is still going to hold its #1 spot.
Yeah.
Well, ISS is rated R, Founders Day is rated R.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would still love to see a spin-off of the Oscars. Oscar Mrs. Visited 10 years later. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, my friend.
I think you might be saying like if you reevaluate like the 2014 Oscars 10 years later, maybe.
Oh, maybe. All right, let's jump into the stories.
All right. So Highlander might finally actually be happening. I feel like we've been talking about this for 5 years at this point. Director Chad Stahelski, the guy who has brought the world John Wick, the director of the 4 John Wick movies we have, has been in a long-term deal to do a Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill from The Witcher and the Snyder Superman. Apparently, he has signed a deal with Lionsgate. The Lionsgate Motion Pictures Group has released a statement saying that they are moving forward with Highlander. So, okay, maybe there can be more than one Christopher Lambert. I like Highlander 1.
Yeah,
And-
Highlander 1 is the one.
Yes.
It is the only one. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's such a weird phrase, like catchline, like taglines. Like there can be only one. Is the whole tagline for Highlander, and then every subsequent sequel is just terrible. So there can only be one. That said, I know the TV show and has fans. They're Adrian Paul fans. I had never got really big into the show. Talking about specifically the Lambert movies.
Mhm.
So yeah, there can only be one Christopher Lambert Highlander movie.
Well, and I think it was a third one. Wasn't the third one kind of like the sci-fi one?
I mean, they're all sci-fi.
So
No, one of them goes more sci-fi.
yeah, so the first one is just straight like the fantasy. They're these immortal people. It's two that introduces the concept that they are aliens, essentially sent to Earth to for like as a prison colony, and do the whole thing. And that's weird. I don't know how they got that Sean Connery for 2, but they did somehow.
Well, you don't like
I
Vanilla
don't
Ice?
remember 3. 4 is the one that brings together Christopher Lambert from the movie franchise and
Adrian Paul. Yeah. I think it's the third one where the best thing about it was the soundtrack because they managed to get money together for Queen to do music for it. I believe it's the third one. Anyway, I have complex feelings about this because I actually really like the first Highlander a lot.
Hot take.
What?
I've never seen it.
Oh, because you
not a
suck.
hot take. That's just
You being a dumbass.
You don't like it.
Yeah. But that said, I think this is kind of like a prime example of a movie that's worth the remake because everything about it could be done better. You could have, I mean, Sean Connery was great. Christopher Lambert was, he couldn't even speak English during the making of that movie.
Yeah.
He was learning his lines phonetically. So the acting, and of course it was low budget. So I think the swordplay, we've got a great director for this. The swordplay could be better. I just feel like this is, if you're going to remake a movie, you take something that has some interesting bones to it, but maybe could have been executed better. And this is a great example to
It's
me.
also like way long past. Like the original Highlander came out in 1986. So
Yeah.
this new version, let's say it comes out in 2026. So it comes out in 2 years. That's the 40th anniversary. That's a banger of a release year to do it in. So I think that's much better than saying let's just remake Mean Girls.
Yeah, true. But yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, man, this is how you, if you're going to do a remake, this is what you do. Because it does still have a fan base. It's got a pretty heavy cult following. I mean, it just came out in a really nice Steelbook 4K that I bought. So you still have that, because that's what it's all about for the studios is can we bank off of it easily? Because they're lazy nowadays. So that's all there. So I think this is it. I like the director. I like Henry Cavill for the role. I think he could be really cool. So I don't know. I have high hopes. I hope it'll be cool.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
Ditto.
All right. Zach?
All right. Well, in other news, David S. Sandberg has signed on to direct a feature film adaptation of Until Dawn, the popular horror video game. Is it popular? I mean, it was. It had its moment. It's also revealed that the writer is Gary Dauberman to rewrite the screenplay following a previous version penned by Blair Butler, who also did The Invitation. Which Invitation, though? The vampire one, or the good one?
I think it's the vampire one, to be honest.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel great.
Yeah, the vampire one was not
bad.
Great. It was not. Well, you didn't see it, sir. I saw it.
Oh, okay. I guess KJ didn't pull it up on Netflix, and I didn't have to sit through that giant piece of shit.
So you weren't paying attention.
No, I did. It was like, this is meant to be rated R. Why are we doing this?
It had some of the shittiest CGI fire of that year.
So bad. As of now, there's no specific plot details that have been revealed, so it's not clear if it'll feature actual characters from the game or if they're just using a title. However, the film has been described by the production company Screen Gems as, quote, an R-rated love letter to the horror genre, centering on an ensemble cast. Wow. Breaking new ground with that phrase.
Yeah, but thanks for telling us nothing.
Yeah, if you don't know, Until Dawn is a video game. It played like an interactive horror movie where players' decisions dictate which characters might live or die. And by the way, if they die, they don't come back. Like, your decisions directly affect how the story is done.
That's cool.
And if you don't play it like me and Chase did, to where we made one rash decision and then everybody died except for one person. Like, we made efforts to make sure nobody died. And then we get to the final area, we make one wrong move, and then everybody dies. Whoops. If you don't know, David S. Sandberg is known to comic book fans as director of Shazam, as well as Lights Out, Annabelle Creation, and what was that? Ouija 2. But
maybe his only good movie.
If you don't know, also he is the YouTuber Pony Smasher, who gives really great behind-the-scenes tutorials and stuff like that about the movies he makes. So yeah,
So hey, do you know what this? Do you know what this game? Do you know what's the story of the game? Because this is the first time really hearing of this game.
Okay, this is going to sound cliche, but I mean it's kind of riffing off of that. Was it a few years after a tragedy takes place at a cabin, these friends get back together at the cabin to relive old memories and to get over the death of a friend. And then that's when horrible shit starts going down. To say any more is kind of a spoiler, whether there's a killer, whether there's not a killer, whether there's another enemy, who knows. But it's basically you're watching a movie, an interactive movie.
Oh, this sounds like something I should play.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 hours long. And it's really a lot of quick time events.
Oh
to
God,
where
maybe not.
if you fail them, I mean, well, they're quick time events to where it's like mash this button right now, or don't move. Don't move the controller. If you move the controller, then this person might notice you. Type stuff.
Okay.
So it is one of those games that really does feel like if I fuck this up, I'm gonna have to live with this decision. There is no game over here. It's just, well, Sandra just got fucking skewered with a hook.
See, that was going to be my sidebar. Is if the game is any good? Because I need
I
something. I need something to play on my PlayStation.
I mean, we played it. My friend Chase and I played it, and it does have some good scares, some good jump scares, and we were
All
having
right.
a lot of fun with it. I would say that your replay value is really going to be determined on what path you want to take.
Yeah.
Personally, we played it once and we went, that was our path. We fucked it up. Dude, we had no idea the decision we were making was going to do what it did. And then everybody died. And there's nothing like watching each individual person in that scene just go, and now they're dead. And now this person's dead. Oh, this person, they're dead too.
I'm surprised this is being made into a movie and it's not like another Bandersnatch thing on Netflix.
It would work with something like that. See,
Yeah.
that's where I go, like, how the fuck are they gonna do Until Dawn? Because the whole motif around Until Dawn is the butterfly effect. The decisions you make here will impact later, whether you know it or not.
Mhm.
It's all about that. So it's like, how are you gonna do that as a movie?
So David S. Sandberg, it's interesting because I pretty much universally thought his movies were garbage, right? Except Ouija 2. I think Ouija 2 is the good one, if I remember right. And then I liked the first Shazam. I like it. I own it. I thought it was good. The second Shazam, though, it's funny. It was so bad, was such a piece of shit that he's immediately running back to his comfort zone of horror, and I don't blame him.
Hey,
But I just think it's
personally, I'd rather him do horror.
but it's weird now though because of following him on YouTube and seeing like not only how he's willing to spend time to give up a lot of information for young filmmakers, but how honest he is about his own stuff too. That I kind of like root for him now. I want him to do something cool.
Yeah, like he'll say his mistakes and go like, well, this is a problem. How do we fix it? And this is how we
Hmm.
fix it on set. And you're kind of like, I haven't seen any of your films. They might be bad, but no, please keep talking. I enjoy listening to you
Yeah,
discuss all this.
yeah. So if you're a filmmaker or a fan of filmmaking, his YouTube channel is great. Now
And he
you can
recommends
tell
good shit like to buy.
I bought some of the gear. I've bought some of it. Our sound
Yeah,
system that we use is the one that he uses because it wasn't expensive. That
that's
was the
good.
great thing about during lockdown is he was making short films with his family and would just talk and show you all the gear that he used. So I root for him. I hope this is cool. I hope it's a cool movie.
I
It
just want a good
honestly
game
it
to
it
movie.
it kind of doesn't at this point, it's I guess it's because they haven't given us that much information. It didn't sound that good, so I
It
hope he
sounds like
sees
they're
something in it.
completely overhauling whatever they had. And by the way, it was from the writer of the vampire version.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I I don't know what to tell you. Like Until Dawn. I mean, I don't know how you do that as a film, man.
Oh, so in the chat, Austin says we don't need a Highlander remake. The last movie was bad enough, but that's why we need the remake. They need to redeem themselves, sir. They need to redeem themselves because the last movie was terrible. I agree. All right. I like I said, I think he's an interesting person, so I hope the movie's good. But it's like right now, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Moving on to TV.
Yep. So at the end of 2023, Chuck E. Cheese announced that it would be ditching their trademark animatronics. Allegedly had nothing to do with the Five Nights at Freddy's success, which, if you don't know, is a franchise about playful animatronics coming to life, possessed by the souls and corpses of dead children. So fans of subpar pizza, cheap novelty prizes, ball pits with unknown horrors at the bottom of the vinyl, and arcade games that are always coated with a layer of sticky kid slime, worried that this marked the end of Charles Entertainment Cheese's empire. And yes, Chuck E. Cheese, the E is entertainment. But according to a recent news break from The Hollywood Reporter, it certainly sounds like the corporation that gave us similarly brilliant ideas like putting Pasquale's Pizza on DoorDash and Uber Eats during quarantine so that people don't realize they're ordering Chuck E. Cheese cardboard pizza is getting into the reality game show business. Magical Elves, the production company behind shows like Top Chef, Nailed It, and the show that makes your mom feel like she has street cred, Snoop and Martha's Very Tasty Halloween, are developing a competition series loosely inspired by Squid Game, but set in the deliciously dystopian world of Chuck E. Cheese. The show's official description is the format will feature standalone comedic physical challenges where duos of big kids, aka adults, will compete over supersized arcade games, including pinball, air hockey, alley roller, and the human claw. The top ticket earning duo will get the chance to exchange their tickets for prizes off the massive version of the iconic Chuck E. Cheese prize wall. Doesn't sound like they'll be killed like in Squid Game, which would make this infinitely more entertaining.
Yeah.
Probably because the company would definitely never beat those allegations of Five Nights at Freddy's similarities. So we got that to look forward to. And my immediate thought is, what has our society become?
Yeah, I thought that too. I mean, and you know it's going to be on Netflix because they've got the end because the Nailed It is already there.
Yeah.
And now I saw that Top Chef is on Netflix now. So I guess they have their in set up there for this thing.
It's going to be a Netflix.
It sounds like garbage. It sounds like garbage to me. And watch, it'll be a top viewed one. It'll be top viewed. Yeah.
I just need the host to come out dressed as Chuck E. Cheese every single time.
I'd watch that. Well, I want them to die too. Just kill off the players. Just kill them. I did watch the Squid Games game show. Did you guys see any of that?
I watched a little bit of it and found it exceedingly manipulative and disgusting.
I didn't find it disgusting, but I definitely, because I wasn't surprised, but I did find it manipulative. And then you find out later that some of the games, they would swap the people out for stunt people. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Talk about false advertising.
Yeah.
And then if you watched it to the end, it would piss you off because the last game was stupid.
Did they do the show or did they do an American version?
What do you mean?
Of the last thing, the last game.
Oh no! You want to know what the last game was? Because you know the last game in the show was the two players beat the shit out of each other, right?
Yeah.
Well, they obviously can't do that for the game show, so they played rock paper scissors.
Fuck
like,
you!
I'm watching a show where people play rock paper scissors. I hate everything about you right now.
Well, see, that was the whole point of the ending of Squid Games was it was this children's game that like Korean people would play. So as an American watching it, you're just like, sure.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, oh, they're going to do an American-based version. Rock, paper, scissors is what the fuck? That's fuck off.
Oh god, it was so annoying. I got so pissed. And this is probably going to be like that too. It reminds me of like those 90s like Nickelodeon game shows is what it sounds like to me. And maybe that's what they're hoping is they can trade on that nostalgia a little bit. Won't work for me, but
hey, don't you fucking diss Double Dare.
Not the Double Dare. And the floor is fire or whatever the fuck that was.
The floor is lava.
That's
the floor.
Yeah.
I watched we watched a couple episodes. It wasn't terrible. It was okay. But it definitely seemed like it should be like a Nickelodeon game show.
Okay, so anyone seen the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F?
Yes,
Yeah.
It looks like shit.
I think Go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't think it looked like shit. It looks better than 3, which is not a high bar. There is definitely a weird suspension of disbelief you have to put into place, given the fact that Beverly Hills Cop as a franchise is now 40 years old. So is the idea that Axel Foley is essentially doing the exact same position in the Detroit Police Department for the last 40 years and is just, I don't know, it's weird that seeing Eddie Murphy try to jump into that exact same role again. I don't know how they're going to play him being an older cop in this.
I thought the same thing.
I enjoy 1 and 2. Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 are fun. 3, not so much. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of revisiting those, but we also revisited Coming to America, and that was terrible.
I fully agree with what you said, because the first thing I thought when I saw it is like, what has happened to this character that he has not progressed at any point in his career? And if it's like, we've had this before where you've had a story, let's say maybe he's a lieutenant or something like that, and something specific forces him back out into the street. They should have, if that's what they're doing, they should have probably showed a little of that in the trailer so that we would understand, okay, this rings a little bit more true. But I think the part that got me the most is if you look at the trailer for the first film, there's things that are funny in the trailer. If you look at the trailer for this one, it's like, it looks well made, but
it's a nostalgia grab. You remember?
I didn't think anything was funny.
I didn't remember Banana and Tailpipe, right?
Yeah, I didn't think anything was funny in the trailer, and that's the part that maybe gets me the most. So I don't know. I was gonna say I'll probably watch it, but I'm so shitty at watching Netflix movies. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll get a limited theatrical run, and I can watch it for Push 150. And I can count it. At least there's that.
I don't think Belcourt would play that.
Belcourt would definitely not play that.
Okay, well then regular theaters don't show Netflix stuff unless it's Glass Onion, and even then that only got a 1-week show, and it was like weird one.
Did like Irishman? That's a Netflix movie.
Mm-hmm.
No, Regal did not do Irishman.
Oh, Regal! I thought you said Belcourt. Sorry,
Belcourt did.
Yeah, the Belcourt had it, and one of us watched it.
I watched half of it,
and took off and just left me stranded at the theaters.
I offered to pay for your goddamn Uber. I couldn't look at the screen anymore because I had a horrible migraine. I was like, I will pay for your shit. Just bill me.
I'm like, bitch, just get the fuck out of here. I'm suffering with this movie.
Sold out screening, right, working my way to the middle of the road to say, I gotta go, and then turn around and leave.
Yeah, that wasn't a good movie also. That was probably. All right. Let's talk about the Emmys.
The Emmys. So the television annual Emmy Awards were this past weekend. If you're not used to you're not used to the Emmys in this January, that's because they're usually not in January. They were usually in the fall, but they were pushed because of the writer's strike. That's also going to be why some shows in the Emmys won for a season previous than why they won in the Golden Globes a few weeks ago. For instance, The Bear winning best.
Everything that it was nominated.
Yeah, the Bear swept. The Bear swept, but it was The Bear season 1 that swept, whereas it was The Bear season 2 picking up awards in the Golden Globes. So
it's so weird. That's so weird.
Very weird. Yeah, the Emmys basically do their year cycle instead of matching calendar year. It's more so matching like the traditional television season, fall to spring, and thus when a series ends in the spring, then next fall when new shows are starting, the Emmys are rewarding the last season shows. So that's why it also had the lowest ratings the Emmys have ever had. Not helping the fact that they were running up against NFL playoff games. So if you missed the Emmys, that's probably why.
I had the Emmys on, Like I didn't think I was going to even put them on, but I had them on, and then I kept finding myself like looking at my phone and not paying attention. I just think it was kind of boring.
Who is the host for the
And
Emmys?
then
It
then
was,
they had
the guy from Blackish, Anthony Anderson.
Okay. Who hosted the Golden Globes?
It was
that was Joe Coy, and he was real bad.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Like some of his jokes.
His
The
jokes,
fact that
all of
he
his
had
jokes.
multiple actors face palming and cringing in the audience. Like none of his jokes landed.
so
I don't. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I was just going to go into some of the categories. So
Okay, go.
all right. Well, the big hits: drama series, Succession. So no big surprise there.
I'm so happy that the McCulkin kid won.
Yeah, Kieran McCulkin
Yeah.
got an
Both
award
him
for that one.
Both him and Macaulay are. I'm happy to see that they've
Yeah.
gotten their lives.
Unfortunately, Better Call Saul has ended its series run with no Emmy wins.
Oh wow.
Yep, because this was its last season. It was up for nominations and did not win in any of its categories. Comedy series, as we said earlier, is The Bear, season 1.
See, that is such a weird category for the Bear to win because I don't think. Does anybody think of the Bear as a comedy?
I think
No.
season 1 may have been a little bit lighter. I mean, it was definitely intense, but I think there was a little bit more humor with the juxtaposition of Carmi, the main character, this traditionally renowned chef in this sandwich shop.
I guess I don't remember ever laughing at any of it though.
I
don't
would
know.
agree. I would agree, though. It's not very comedic. I don't think it's the most egregious category fraud I've seen before. It's not as bad as, say, when the Golden Globes put The Martian in for best comedy, but
Yeah.
it's close. It was up against like Abbott Elementary, Barry, its last season, Jury Duty, The Marvelous Miss Maisels last season,
Ted Lasso.
Only Murders in the Building.
I don't
Yes,
see why
Ted La-
Wednesdays.
Wednesday, I think, has more comedy in it than The Bear.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was up against more traditional comedies. But
I think Wednesday is supposed to be funny. It's just not because it's not good.
limited or anthology series, the winner on that one is Beef. Lead actor Kieran Culkin, as we talked about. For drama. So yeah, we got a lot of Succession winners.
I was really happy with supporting actress in the drama because I really liked White Lotus and I love Jennifer Coolidge, and that was the last season her character appears in White Lotus because spoilers, she dies.
I tried really hard to watch White Lotus. I just couldn't connect with it.
One interesting bit is how they split the night shows, the night comedy shows, like the Tonight Show and all that stuff. They switched out certain series to be variety series over talk series.
Yeah.
So, for instance, last week Tonight with John Oliver had been killing the Emmy crowd. It's been winning the Emmys every year. They moved it to scripted variety series, and it beat out Saturday Night Live. So it still won. Whereas in variety talk series, which is the category where all the other nightly talk shows go in, now the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, which is no longer the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, it won. And Trevor was there, and he picked up the award. There was a funny bit where all the Daily Show crew were on there, including Roy Jones Jr. One of the correspondents mouthed "pick a host already," and it had been picked up a lot. I've seen on social media, just because anyone not aware of the Daily Show has not had a host since Trevor Noah left last year.
Oh wow.
So,
see, what's interesting is I feel like in some ways the Oscars doesn't have enough awards. Like we need a stunt category, for example, but the Emmys has way too many, and that may be why I zoned out because it's just so many awards. And I get it; they have a lot more variety of genres, I guess, but it's just excessive.
It is weird though, because like the Oscars don't have a genre distinction in terms of comedy, drama, any action. It's just best movie, best director, best actor, best actress, all that stuff. So it is interesting that you see that with the Emmys. Maybe just because of so much extra. I'm curious. I don't really know what the difference in amount of qualifying content for Emmys versus Oscars are. There may just be that they want to, or at least show that there are these many more things. So it's more of a promotion material than the Oscars.
Maybe. I mean, I guess that would make sense.
But it is very weird because you get that weird. The Bear isn't really a comedy, so why is it in the comedy series?
Exactly.
When you had, it could have easily gone in. Looking at the other show, well, it's not. I would say it's probably funnier than anything in drama. So I guess maybe that's what they used.
Okay, all right. Any other notable wins?
That was pretty much it for me. I was just really more interested in the season behind scheduling debacle.
It's so weird.
Happened this year. The Emmys will be happening twice this year, supposedly, unless anything unforeseen happens. So the fall Emmys will be taking place as normal, and then the split in the variety talk show and variety scripted shows segment. So yeah, that's it. Emmys. Hardly anyone watched because they were watching.
So there's a shit ton more awards if you're interested in like the other talk show awards and stuff like that. But you can go check those out. But yeah, that's pretty much I think the ones that work for us that we care about. All right, so this is interesting. This month has been an interesting time for physical media because we're watching the slow end to physical media in Best Buy. You can still buy movies in Best Buy right now, but no more new releases. So every week in January, the new releases have been coming out, but Best Buy is not getting them. So I did go and get some stuff. I advise going and checking it out because there's some stuff in there for real cheap. And you're talking about like $10 4Ks. I got the Ghoulies from MVD for $14, $15, and it's $35 online. So if you're a movie collector, you should go and look. But yeah, so Walmart is picking up the slack though. All the cool new Steelbooks and all that stuff are coming out at Walmart, but I hate Walmart. So
I mean, so do I. But I mean, given the choice between have it or don't, I will take what I can get.
But
speaking of what I got,
yes.
I
got were you talking about? Were you talking about this?
Yeah, except mine's not upside down like that.
Oh, that's a nice Old Boy release.
It is. You don't even see. You don't know the half of it. This is what.
It's really nice.
It's a hard,
hardback. That's the wallpaper, right?
It is. Yeah.
And then
this is the only thing I don't like is that the discs are in this like situation.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the front and then in the back. But this book, man, this feels like a school book, like a little like. I don't know. It's so
nice. Curious. This is the original Korean Old Boy movie, not the
exactly.
Wait, there was an American remake. Surely they wouldn't remake Old Boy. Are you fucking insane? I mean,
and then there's art cards
do that.
Yeah.
So it's so weird. But just looking at everything like with the Best Buy, people are freaking out. I started thinking about it. I really don't buy that much like new release stuff anymore. I buy stuff like this all the time. And Zach, you haven't even seen this yet. This just came today. Look at this baby.
Oh, hey, it's that movie you keep telling me to watch.
That's so good. This just came in, and it is in a slipcover inside of a box. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome really goes for it, boy.
I will say we got our copy of Old Boy way on sale. I think Old Boy it goes for $75-$80 now. I mean, we got ours tax and shipping. It was $44.
Yeah, I didn't order from the same place as you guys. I ordered from an independent place, so I paid $49, and I'm still fine with that.
Well, deepdiscount.com sure came in handy.
So, with that said, there are some new releases this week. It is a thin week because January is always thin for physical media. But Trolls Band Together is out in a sing-along edition on Blu-ray and 4K. The Raid Redemption, I'll probably pick this up, is on the 4K Steelbook. Lone Star.
Real quick about
What?
the Raid.
What?
Have you heard what they've done with the 4K?
No.
Okay, so what would you say is objectively the worst thing about the Raid one?
I don't know. Just get to
Its color grade was dog shit.
Yep.
Like it visually looked like shit.
Well, it
This
was a cheap movie.
Yeah, they've recolor graded it to the director of photography's like wishes, and it looks night and day better.
So I guess I had mixed feelings about that. Like I would want to see it look like it did in the theater.
It looked like dog shit in the theater, though. It
But
looked bad.
I know, but that's how it was released. So I would really want to see it that
Well,
way. I
you
would
should
like
have
the
both.
option.
You should get a set that has both.
Yeah, that's it. They should have both. That's kind of the annoying thing about the Scream Factory Halloween release is technically they have both, but you only get this new Rob Zombie looking color grade on the 4K. You have to go to the Blu-ray to get the original. It pisses me off. So I don't know if I'll ever pick that one up. But anyway, side note, Lone Star is out in Blu-ray and 4K. Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe, that's a 12-movie collection. It's a big box set. And then Police Story 3, Super Cop, is out this week on Blu-ray and 4K. So there's your movies.
It's the worst police story in the original trilogy. Oh, well, hold on.
It is.
Is it worse than 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Just because
but
it has
if you're a
way less
completionist,
action.
yeah, if you're a completionist, you still might want to grab it. I don't know if I'm that much of a completionist, though. All right, I'm ready for dinner, so let's bring this baby to an end. Nico, where do we find you on the internet?
You can find me at nicholasqualls.com for all my social media links. Check out my Instagram, linked there. I'm on Instagram at Nico Scream. I started doing some slight book reviews on there. So if you want to, like anything I've read for the year, just logging on Instagram. Letterbox, I'm on there too. For Tina, she's off with the baby right now, so you can find her on find her social media as Cheddar Popper, CheddarPoppr. She posts a lot on Instagram about books that she's read too.
All right, cool. Let's see. Zach, your boy?
You can find me with a cat staring at me at my desk. But you can also find me on Instagram. I'm Master of the Matrix 91. You can find me on Steam and Discord of a Dangerous Mute Lunatic. And you can find me on Letterboxd Master Z91.
All right. So the best thing you could find me other than right here is OTS Movies over on TikTok. And right now I'm doing something really cool. Tonight I'll be on as we record this. So if you're watching later, then you missed it. But anyway, 9 p.m. CST, I'll be on a stream with an actor whose name escapes me, but he was in The Black Phone and Halloween Kills. Next Wednesday at 9 p.m. CST, I'll be on a live stream on TikTok with the actress that played the mother in Skinamarink. And the following Wednesday after that, I'll be on with the head of acquisitions for MVD to talk about what's going on with movies and Best Buy and all that stuff. So lots of cool stuff happening. So go follow my TikTok, OTS Movies. Yeah, really. So I guess that'll bring us to an end. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.